Hi everybody. So I am here to share with you my first video in a small series of videos I'm going to do about packaging and gift packaging. A little while back, a couple of my subbies had asked if I would show how I packaged a couple of things I had gifted out. And then a couple of videos ago, I had shared something and asked if you guys wanted to see a packaging series, and I had an overwhelming response. So I'm going to share with you some videos on, you know, just the way I package things, the way I like to see things when I gift, you know, little goodies to my crafty friends, whether it be flowers, die cuts, cards, little notes, and you know, this is just the way I do things. I love packaging. I love sometimes to go into a store and look at packaging. Sometimes I buy things because the packaging is so cute. And you know, I hope that you take away your way of doing things with the colors that you like and the products that you have. So today I'm going to just talk a little bit about bags, little gift bags, how something simple could make it look pretty, maybe do a little bit more like intermediate kind of packaging, I guess, if you have a few more supplies, or if you just kind of wanted to go a little bit more without going over the top, because I could definitely do over the top, but that would have to be a separate video. So I'm also going to show you if you don't have your own gift bags, or you have plenty of paper and a scoring tool, how you can cut something down, you know, a piece of paper down, score it, and make a little gift bag of your own. So, you know, you can just work with what you have. You know, some of us have are just starting out and have minimum supplies, and some of us have like every tool in the world and tons of supplies. So really, I encourage you just to take this series and kind of, you know, think about something maybe you didn't think about in a new way to help you package things pretty. So this is not in any way meant to say this is the way you should do things. This is the way I do them, so I'm happy to share with you how I do it. And sometimes I go the extra mile and go over the top, and sometimes I just do something so simple, and either way it comes from the heart, so the recipient will always love it. So with that said, I wanted to start with something simple. Okay, this is a little gift bag that I got at the $1.50 spot, I think, in Michael's. It came in a pack of, I don't know, like 6 or 8 maybe. And I wanted to show you how simple it could be, even if you don't have a lot of time, but you wanted to, you know, make it pretty. What I do is I take, you know, like a standard hole punch. I've had this in my stash forever. And I'm just going to line it up. I like to do it this way because I can see where the hole is going. And I just try to be as, like, I try to line it up as evenly as possible. So let me just see. Okay. I think the thing has to be unloaded because it has a lot of scraps in it. So today I'm just going to use simple products. This is some pink seam binding. You can also use a little scrap of lace, which I have right here. Okay. I have some like embroidery twine or just some twine. And I also have baker's twine. Okay, so use whatever you have on hand, especially if you have these little scraps of lace and you don't know what to do with them. Super simple. So just for the sake of the video, in case I reuse it for the video, I'm just going to show you I can always just, because I don't want to cut it down any further. Okay, you just string it along. My highly scientific method for making a bow. And then you just kind of fiddle with it until it's the way you like to see it. Okay. And really, honestly, like, that is so cute. I mean, wouldn't you want to see that? Even if you wrote like a little handmade note in there and the recipient opened it. I mean, that's as simple as it comes and as pretty as it comes, really. So that's one idea. Now, let's do something maybe a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more. Let's take this envelope, okay, and I punched out a couple of shapes. Now, again, you don't have to have these supplies. Maybe you have a punch like this that you can use. Maybe you can hand cut something. Maybe you do have a bunch of little tag dies and you don't know, you know, what else to do with all the little bits and pieces that come in it. So I'm just going to share with you, they were cut from this die, and afterwards I'm going to show you how to make this if you don't have the die. And it came with these shapes. So this is the die set. Okay, so I'm taking these two and I punched one out of vellum, or I die cut it out of vellum. Okay, it's not going to focus for whatever reason. And then I took one out of like glittered cardstock. So because this is going to get layered, I'm just not going to worry about the glue that I use. Okay, so you just take it, you put like maybe a little spot. Oh, come on. Whoops. Okay, well, let's just say a little more than a little spot, but it's going to get covered up. Okay, so you can just put that down. Now, if you had the double-sided adhesive for this and it was a little more clear than that, you could just simply put a sticker there, you know, somebody's initial, a little heart, you know, like a little bow. I'll show you that. A little bow like this. And, you know, that would be cute too. So what I thought was you could, oh, this is leaking. You could take then this circle, put it over it, and then it just becomes something a little bit more. You could put another, again, if I was giving this to, you know, somebody with an A, I would put an A there, maybe put a little heart there, but then it just adds a little something more. Okay, so that's that. Then let's see if I can save this bag because the glue dripped all over it, because I wanted to show you. Okay, now I have a bag that's a little bit bigger. I don't remember where I got this bag. Okay, well, the little glue blob went on there, so. Okay, so this is more of like a glassine bag. It's printed. I believe this is Recollections. Again, by, I got it in the party section when they had all that washi and party stuff in Michael's. Again, you can tell I love packaging because I even buy packaging just, you know, to have it. But again, you can start off simply like this. This is going to be a little bit more, I don't know, dressed up, I guess. Now, I think that I used this die set by Brenda Walton. That's the number. And this is all that it gives you. So if you if you want to buy a die set, buy something like this that gives you lots of pieces and shapes, because not only can you make a card, you can make tags and gift packaging. I'm not telling you you need this, but if you want a circle die, you have it. If you want a rectangle die, you have it. You have a flower. So my suggestion is, if you're going to spend on 1 or 2 pieces that you'll love forever, buy something with a lot of pieces. So I used this circle, these little flourishes, and then the flowers. So for the sake of the video, because I'm already at like 10 minutes, I put it together with glittered cardstock. I popped up this extra little piece here to make the flower. And then I put the flourishes here with the filigree leaf. And then this hello came from this die set, which is from Lori Whitlock. That's the number. And see, again, you can use circles, doilies, layers, edges. You can put edges to your packaging, words. So that's what I did. I cut out the circle, glued everything on. And just for the sake of the video, I'm going to use the hot glue. And I'm going to put this, because sometimes I use different types of, you know, tapes and glues, but okay. And now your bag went from just something like this to this. And I think that looks beautiful. And I think that if I received that, I would love it. I would be like, wow, that's great. Thank you so much, you know, for dressing it up. I loved your packaging. Can't wait to see what's inside of it. So again, you could fold it over. Okay, use that punch that I had shown you if you have one. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are pretty like inexpensive. Plus, you know, my daughter uses it for school. And okay, this works again for glassine bags, paper. There we go. Okay. Okay. Then you can take your piece of lace. Okay. See? You can either tie it in a bow or tie it in a knot. And okay. So that's another idea. Then I wanted to talk about something else that you probably have in your stash, and other than cards and, you know, things to embellish with, you're wondering what to do with it. So here is another one of those glassine bags. I fold it over the top like this, and let's say you have a million of these doilies. They come in round, they come in different colors. You can die cut them. They come square. You can just take it, fold it over, and again, let me see, let me cut a piece of this just for the sake of the video. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't on camera. Okay. Anyway, there we go. Okay. Then you can take your string, right? Tie it. I just want to show you the whole process so that you get the whole picture, you know. I'm sure you guys are looking at this like, oh my God, I know how to tie a bow. But you never know. Okay, so then, you know, you can put something simple like that and then layer it with an already made embellishment. Someone gifted you some embellishments. I had made this bow the other day and I didn't use it. I made it out of a punch. Okay, so it's just a very simple bow, and then you can stick it just like that. Just adds a little extra dimension to your project. You'll be a lot neater than I was there. But don't be afraid to double, you know, to layer it. I mean, so what? You put a bow there, you can just glue another bow right there. Or you can tie the bag and put the tie in the back. And sometimes it's fun to have like extra texture, dangle it down. You can cut these little ends off. Okay, and now you have that type of packaging, right? That's a good idea too. Okay, so if I get cut off, guys, I'm just going to... Hi, guys. Okay, so I got cut off, but I did want to share with you, I'm going to try and put this end on the other end of the video that got cut off, because I do want to share one more thing with you and then show you how to make your own envelope. Okay, so I have a clear bag. This bag measures about 6, and I folded it over already, so 6 by about 8. It's one of those it's self-adhesive, I guess. You peel it off and stick it. So I have a die for this that I'm going to show you. I don't know where the die is, but anyway, I use it. It's a bag topper by Sizzix. I use it all the time, but you don't need to have that bag because we're going to show you how to make your own, or I'm going to show you how to make your own. So what I did was I took a piece of paper and let me see what this measures. It measures 6 by 4, okay? So, yeah, because this bag was about 5 and like 7/8 wide. So I didn't want too much of an overhang. So what I did was I cut it at 6 so that there's about like 1/8 of an inch on each side hanging over. Can you see that? Okay. So there's like like 1/8 of an inch, I would say, hanging over. And then I cut it by 4 so that when I cut it in half, there was about a 2-inch on each side, just to, you know, just to give enough of substance. Okay, so that's, again, what did I say it was? 6 by 4, cut, folded in half. Then I took the reverse side and a scrap piece of this paper and I made a 1-inch piece. So it's, again, pretty much the same size, 1 by 6. And sometimes I like to edge the edges of the cardstock just to give it a little definition so that not everything like melts into each other. Okay. And then even the little layers, I'll just edge. Okay. And put the cap back on. Okay. So I didn't want to smudge that piece there. There was a little ink that fell over. Okay, I put too much ink there, so I'm turning it over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the tape runner. Okay. Doesn't have to be tape runner. It can be wet glue. It can be hot glue, whatever you have on your table or whatever you enjoy using. Okay. So there we go. Now, what you can do is if you don't like the edges sharp like that, you know, like not sharp like it's going to cut you, but you don't want such sharp edges. You want a little more, you know, softer edge. Sorry about that. Okay. I dropped something and I don't know if I needed it for the video. Okay, so you can just simply round the corners if you have a corner rounder. If not, you can just simply snip it off with your scissors. It's super simple, guys. You don't have to be intimidated by gift packaging because you don't have supplies that you see other people using. So it's just for ideas. Really, that's all it is. Okay, so it just made a very small rounded edge. I don't want you to come away from this video and think, well, I don't have anything that she has, you know, so I can't make anything. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay. So I am just now, before I really super embellish it, I'm just going to add some glue and put the base layer down. Okay. Okay. And I don't go all the way to the edge. And let me just put this one. Okay, so now you have a pretty topper for your bag. And you could even leave it like this. But I'm just going to go one extra little step and show you. I took these two leaves that I had in my stash. I wrapped it together and then cut off the end. So I'm just going to glue it. And then I have these flowers that came in a $1.50 pack from Michael's. And I'm going to arrange them just because I like to use flowers. I love to, you know, I think that they add just a little something extra. Okay. There we go. And there you have it. Something, I think it's simple because I could have done all kinds of decorating here. I could have put words, more stickers, but I think that that's super simple to do. Even if you have a die and make your own paper flowers, you can edge it with stickles or glitter and yeah. Okay, so that's another one. Now I wanted to share with you, oh, I know it fell, I think the envelope. Okay, so I took that envelope die that I had shown you, and I thought, let me just take some simple measurements and show you guys how you can make your own envelope. So what you want to do is, you want to cut a piece of paper by 6 1/8 by 5. Okay. Now I turned mine over and scored it this way, but on the longer side, the 6 1/8 side, you want to score at 3/8, 3 1/4, turn like this. Now this is going to be the top of your bag. So score it at 1/2, turn it again to the other side of that 5-inch piece of paper. And then this could be maybe a little bit more than 1/4, but I scored it at 1/4. Okay, so now if you can see, I don't know if you can see those score lines. Okay. We're going to cut off this square and this whole thing right here up to the score line. Okay. Let me I'll use my Okay, let me make sure I'm here. Okay. I'll try to be as neat as possible. Okay, right? And then I'm going to cut down here the 1/4 inch score mark from the score line. Okay, so from that score line all the way down to the end. And what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to do a little bit of a notch like this, so that when this folds up into the bag, which I'll show you, it makes it a little easier. Okay, and then here on this 1/4 inch side, there was this little piece right here. I'm going to take that off and miter the corners as well. And I'll show you. Okay. And I'm going to do it on that little edge. No, I'm going to leave that one. Okay. So now what you're left with is like that. You see? You see how those ends are kind of on a diagonal? So when you fold over your bag, you're going to be left with something that looks like this. Okay, you're going to put adhesive here. And again, if you don't like this edge here, you can either cut it yourself like this and have a fold over. You can round the corners. Okay. Let me just, for the sake of the video, put the adhesive. And, okay. Okay. And there you go. You have your own little gift bag. You can put in there, fold it over. Okay. So if you have any questions, just let me know. If you'd like to see something more, let me know. I'll be happy to share. I will come back probably with either a tag video or a box video next. But if there's something more you want to see, please let me know, guys. I hope this has helped you guys. So far, be on your way to making some pretty packaging with either some simple supplies like this, or to making something a little more elaborate like this. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching me struggle through making something in a little more real time than I usually do. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.